Hey everybody, welcome to the Brandon and Ryan Hour. I'm Brandon,
And I'm Ryan.
and it's Monday, and it's movie review day.
That is correct, Brandon. Today, we are reviewing Dragged Across Concrete,
We
which is a
are.
2018 movie that is rated R.
I did not know the movie was from 2018 until like 5 minutes ago.
Yep, 2018 is when this one came out. Starring Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn. Let's see who else is in it. Tori Kittles, Michael Jai White, and some other people.
Jennifer Carpenter.
Yeah, no idea who that is.
Um, she was in Dexter.
Never watched it.
I did.
Okay, great.
So, no, dang, stop. It's not what I wanted to do.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, so it is definitely a rated R movie.
Oh yeah, for sure. Okay, this doesn't make any sense. All right, I watched it on Netflix, or saw it on Netflix, and I was like, oh, I've never heard of this movie. So I looked at the year, and I'm pretty sure it said 2023. When I was like, oh, okay, that's weird. It must be a brand new Netflix movie or something. So I just watched it because I didn't have anything else to do that day. And yeah, now it does not say 2023.
Because it was made in 2018
Yeah.
or released in 2018.
Released in yeah, whatever. All right, so what did you uh for everybody who may or may not be watching, if you haven't seen the movie, we're going to totally ruin the whole movie and tell you all about it. If you have seen the
We
movie,
discuss movies as if people have seen them.
yes,
So go see the movie and then come back. Or if you don't care, watch it away.
or it's an old movie, and we're just going to tell you what we think. All right, what's your initial review?
Initial review. I mean, it was a good movie. Solid acting from all the actors. Enjoyment wise, not is middling on enjoyment. So I'm gonna give it a 6.5.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sure either. It's like all over the place. It's good, but confusing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think you said 6.5. I'll give it a 6.8
Okay.
because I forgot. Yeah, I think I gave John Wick a 6.5,
Okay.
and I think this is better than John Wick actually.
All right.
As
I think
far as
John
like,
Wick was more enjoyable.
yeah, but as far as the story goes, this is way better as far as story.
Okay.
Um, so yeah, so Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn are detectives in I forget what
I don't remember what
some
this part
random
was.
city up in New York or something.
Yeah.
Um, and they get filmed. What did they call it? Cast iron.
Yeah.
I like the terminology that they use throughout the movie. So they get caught roughing up a criminal, and they're like, we didn't give him that much cast iron.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, these are some cool terms. Like, I like the way they talked throughout the movie. It was just interesting and different, and
And it's not like they had to go and explain what each term meant either. They just said it, and they were
yeah,
like, "Okay, the audience will catch on. The audience is smart enough to understand what we're saying."
yeah. If you're not
Which was
smart enough
nice.
to get it, then you probably don't want to watch this movie.
But no, so often nowadays in movies, everything has to be explained to you, like every term,
Like
every
a
plot
retard.
point, everything.
Yeah,
And this, they were just like, "Hey, watch the movie, pick up the lingo, and enjoy it."
yeah.
So it was nice that the director or studio or whoever respected the audience enough not to handhold the entire movie.
Yeah. I don't know who this guy is.
Yeah, so I mean, it opens up showing it is rated R with a sex scene, and then you move on to
Oh, yeah. I was like, what are you talking about? I forgot. I was like, oh, this is stupid sex scene. Like,
yeah,
and yeah, very kind of like '90s way to open a movie too.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's fair.
but more. It was like '90s, but more rated R.
Okay,
Yeah, more graphic. Yeah, because they used to do that a lot in the '90s, where they would open up a movie and there would be,
within the
you know,
first minute or two, a sex
there'd be
scene.
some
Yeah,
frontal nudity or some kind of sex scene or something like that.
yeah,
Just because boobs, right?
yeah. Just because boobs. Um, but yeah, so then you jump over to the two police officers arresting that drug dealer,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't know that whole interaction with the drug dealer and then with his girlfriend, like that was beautifully done. Like so much of this movie is so dry, but it's also hilarious at the same time.
Yeah. And it's like smart too, right? Like
Yeah,
he's like, I don't know. I didn't think that they gave that guy too much cast iron in the
yeah,
stairwell because I didn't know any of the other details, right? I don't
hmm,
assume like, oh, they're just beating the crap out of him. I don't know what happened before we showed up, right? Why they're there.
yeah.
So maybe he deserves it. Maybe he's a bad guy.
And I mean, in the movie, they reveal that he was a drug dealer who sold to kids. Okay, great.
Yeah.
He's a bad guy.
Yeah, he's a man. They're men. It's not like they need to treat him like he's a porcelain doll.
Yeah,
It's not like they beat him to death or like he didn't have any injuries. He wouldn't be okay from the next day.
yeah,
And the way they treated her, it was hilarious that he was like, she can't hear. And then they get in there and she was just naked. I don't remember what she was doing.
she had like shorts or underwear on, but she was topless
Right. But I mean, like, I don't remember what happened. But anyway, she ran into the bathroom
with her
and
purse.
with her
and,
purse. That's what it was because she had a gun in the purse,
right.
and he was a felon and not supposed to be around guns. That's what it was. But then they did the interrogation thing, and he just like made her uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Right?
just
I'm gonna make
uncomfortable.
you slightly uncomfortable for a few minutes by getting you wet and then making you stand under a fan.
Under a fan. Yeah,
So now you're cold, and now you're gonna tell us where
what we want to know. Yeah,
where the drugs and the money are. And yeah, it was just good. And the way their banter back and forth between Mel Gibson and
Vince Vaughn.
Vince Vaughn, yeah, as partners, like it was it wasn't overly comedic, right? It wasn't, a Kevin Hart movie,
Yeah,
but it was funny. And you could tell they were partners and friends, and but they were men, right? They weren't just acting, ridiculous for no reason.
yeah.
Yeah. And then they found the drugs and the money, and then they wanted to go get pancakes or something. I forget what it was.
Yeah, breakfast special or something.
But yeah.
And then get called into their police. I don't know if that was a sergeant or a captain, whatever. Whoever's in charge of them on the
Whoever
police force.
whoever was at the top.
and find out, hey, the news has video of you guys arresting this guy, and it doesn't look good. So you're suspended.
For 6
Which
weeks.
is, yeah, which is
Okay.
the kickoff to the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, that is what gets the plot going.
Yeah, it's kind of, yeah. And I guess, okay, so the opening scene is revealed to be a guy that just got out of jail. Character's name is Henry. So he just gets out of jail, and his buddy, Biscuit,
Yeah.
who was Michael Jai White, you're not really sure what their relationship is, or like you're like, okay, this guy just got out of jail, he's helping him out, and then the whole like him going home to his mom's house was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you don't really like know much about any of the characters, and they don't really tell. They're just showing you their day-to-day life, and
Yeah, like what's happening at that time.
There's no, which I like. I like in movies where they don't just give you a bunch of word scrawl or voiceover or spend the first 20 minutes explaining one character or whatever.
Yeah. Just let you see the character, see how they act, and that way you can form your opinions about that character.
Yeah. So let's see. I guess we can. Most of the movie is kicked off by, well.
So I mean, they get suspended, and then Mel Gibson's character goes home, finds out his daughter had a soda thrown on her, which they said she was assaulted. But
I mean,
I guess it's technically is assault, but it's also a kid prank. Like, it's not, she wasn't hit, she wasn't beaten. I don't know, like if that happened to me growing up.
We don't know what the other assaults were, because it says he's been assaulted 5 times in 2 years.
Yeah.
So we don't know what kind of
interactions
she's had, and clearly
it's an issue with the what?
They don't live in a. They said something like they'd live there forever, but it's
become. But the neighborhood was starting to go bad.
Yeah, it's kind of seedy area, so wanted to get out. But his wife was an ex-cop who had MS.
MS, yep.
So she couldn't work, and she looked pretty. I don't know.
She looked to be in pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Mel Gibson's character finds out that about some job that's going on with some criminals, and just calls Vince Vaughn's character, and he's like, "Hey, come pick me up."
Yeah. And the interaction with his wife, he's like, she was like, "We need to move," and then he's like, what did he say exactly? I don't remember exactly what he said, but he's like, "I'm gonna take care of it, and you can never ask me about it, and I'll never tell you about it."
Yeah. Something so like she said that they needed money, and he said, "I can get money, but we're never going to discuss what happened or never talk about it." Yeah. Basically.
But we can never talk about it. Yeah. Ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's just like, "Okay."
Yeah.
Yep.
She didn't say anything. She's like, and then,
yeah, I love how he just called up his buddy, and he's like, "Hey, come pick me up." Okay, you're gonna drive here while I go to sleep.
5 o'clock in the morning or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gets in the car. "Hey, I'm gonna sleep. Stop asking me questions. I'll tell you when we get there."
Bring all your gear. Yeah, and he's just like, "All right, we're doing something. I guess I'm in it. We'll see what happens." Yeah. And okay. When I was watching the movie, I did not realize that it was over 2.5 hours long. I felt like it was a long movie.
Uh-huh.
I felt like there was a lot there, but I didn't feel like it just drug on and on and on. It was just boring.
Mm.
There were
Okay.
some times when it gets like a little. You're like, all right, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And then, but then
Like
it
there
picks
there
up.
were some scenes where like you could have cut this out and still kept the flow of the movie
I
going.
really liked the sandwich scene though. That was hilarious.
The sandwich scene. Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Is
Nah. Like the one scene that I'm thinking of that sticks out in my mind. Like they just hard cut to that lady about to get on the bus and go back and then she goes back into her house and talks to her husband or boyfriend or whatever about the
yeah.
kid. I was like, what is this? Like
I didn't
it
know
felt
either.
so out of place.
It felt weird. I was like, what is going on?
Like because they
She
just
was like
jumped.
a
It was just a fade to black from the last scene and then jump cut to there. I was
yeah.
like, okay, I guess we're following this person now, and I
At
have no
first,
idea why.
when she showed up there waiting for the bus, I was like, I recognized the actress, right? So I'm like, was she in the movie earlier? Did I miss something? Like, I was trying to like think back. I'm like, all right, because this seems like a weird place to introduce a brand new character
Mm-hmm.
that seems with an actress that I've recognized before and doesn't seem like a complete throwaway character. And she wasn't a complete throwaway character. It was just a weird way to introduce that that part of the narrative.
Yeah.
Because it I know, I mean, it was there to just completely mess with the audience's emotions, right?
Yeah, it didn't do it for me though. Like I get what they were going for, but I was irritated with her character when she showed up.
Why?
She just irritated me.
Okay.
Just everything she did. I was like, oh come on, okay. Yeah, you had a kid, you're clearly going through some postpartum. You probably shouldn't be going back to work right now. You should probably go talk to a doctor.
Right. You should probably stay home with your kid and get your stupid husband to work.
Yeah.
Right? Who cares who makes more money? You clearly need to be home.
Yeah.
Right? And I think that's part of it. Like I think the director and the writer, who's the same person, wanted the audience to think that.
I was just irritated the entire time.
Right, because you don't know what the buildup is. I was getting annoyed too at first. I was like, okay, what is this with the elevator thing? She doesn't want that other guy to get on the elevator. And then she wants to she just had a baby, so she wants to hold her baby, and her husband's annoyed because she won't stop being clingy and go
Stop being a woman and go to work. Yeah.
Like not just that, but it just seemed like he was like
we've been through this before.
I get it. You want to be with your baby, but we also gotta, support the baby. But it seemed like she just is having a hard time getting out of the house in general.
Yeah.
She just did not want to be away from the baby for any amount of time, which I guess I can get. I'm not a mother, clearly. I also think this movie is very this movie would get destroyed if it were released today.
Okay.
And it's only been 5 years because of the it's based.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? It just is. The way they talk about race, all kinds of things, right? Just the movie's not racist, and I wouldn't even think anybody in this movie was racist.
Okay.
But there's a lot of people who would think this movie's racist. But that's not part of the movie. But I think they did. I don't know. It's hard to like look back and think, okay, did they write this because of the culture, or is it just writing a story because it's a good story?
I don't
It's
know. That's a good
it's hard.
question.
It's hard to like get current day things out of your mind when you look back at things.
Right.
Which sucks. So, all right. So, yeah. So, Mel Gibson has decided that he's going to get some money from criminals because he's been a cop for 30 something years and he's not a crooked cop, but when you've been a cop that long, you obviously know how to like take care of criminals and take their money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because he's trained. He has street knowledge. He knows he has connections. He's got the equipment. He knows how they work, think, and operate. So he knows they can just do it. So he's going to recruit his buddy, Vince Vaughn, who is he has a girlfriend and he's trying to get he buys a ring to ask her. He's going to ask her to marry him.
Yep, marry him. Vince Vaughn is a him.
Did it seem like he was living beyond his means?
A little bit, yeah.
Okay, because he had a really nice apartment.
He had a nice apartment. He had nice suits that he wore.
Yeah, I mean,
Had a nice watch.
He was a single guy, so it's not like he's Mel Gibson where he's got to support a wife and kid. But it just seemed like he had a really nice apartment, really nice stuff. He didn't have like a really nice car, but he had a decent car. Like a Cadillac or something.
I guess I missed that. I don't remember it.
Yeah, I don't know. It wasn't like he was driving, like a $200,000 car. It was, like, I don't know, $50,000 car maybe. I don't know. I don't know what a Cadillac cost. Anyway. Yeah, so Vince Vaughn is just like, what did he say? He kept saying, I'm in it until I'm not.
Yeah.
And Mel Gibson was like, okay. And the guy that he went to get information from about out of town people, though, I think he was just looking for drug dealers when he went there.
Yeah.
But this job that the guy found out about was completely out of the realm of what Mel Gibson was looking for. So Biscuit and Henry, you see them planning some job, and then, obviously it's going to tie in with what Vince Vaughn and Mel Gibson are doing. And then that random guy that just started shooting people, he just showed up and shot the guy in the
convenience store.
That could have been cut because it didn't really do anything.
Yeah,
it just showed that guy was a murderer. Which,
yeah. Although it was also a little bit of a comedic break as well. Because like after he shot the store owner who pulled a gun on him, shoots the other guy who's begging, and I don't know, like that, just the way, the coldness of how he shot that guy made me chuckle. And then he turns and just starts shooting up random parts of the store.
Yeah, he just shoots the camera, shoots the drink thing. Just start shooting up random. I was like, what is this? This is stupid.
I don't know. I found that to be a comical, almost like a pressure release on the seriousness of the rest of the movie.
Okay. You're weird.
Okay.
Because when he walked in, I was like, what is this? I was like, is this Henry or Biscuit or something? And then I was like, nope, that's a white guy.
Yeah.
And
outside of a possible comedic thing, I don't know why that was in the movie.
I think it was just to build up that guy as a ruthless murderer. That's what it
Okay.
was. Because he was he was the main guy, well, the second guy in charge of robbing the bank.
All right.
You had the main guy who wanted to rob the bank, and then he was the muscle or the, I literally think it was just to show him as ruthless.
All right. I was agreeing with you. So great. We agree. Let's move on.
I don't want to move on. Okay. The stakeout stuff was kind of dry. Yeah. Some of that they could have cut. It was just story building.
But then the stakeout, they end up seeing the guy that they were looking for get in the car with Henry and Biscuit. Follow them to the construction site where they're meeting.
Yeah, so they're on the stakeout. Henry and Biscuit show up. They go inside the building. All three of them come out. Then they follow them where they have an armored car that they purchased, waiting for them. And then Biscuit and Henry put white makeup on.
Oh, they did whiteface?
They did whiteface. They did more than whiteface because they did their arms and hands and everything.
Okay.
Because when you see them from a distance, you're like, you can't really tell.
Yep.
You're not going to hear it when you mute yourself, right?
What?
Makes a click when you mute.
I don't care.
Okay, so
yeah, then they follow them and
okay.
lose them and then find them back at the bank.
Yeah.
Where they wait for them to leave so they can follow them.
Yeah, the bank scene was weird.
Yeah.
Not weird, but like,
I mean, so outside of the sex scene at the very beginning of the movie, I feel like it could have been like a PG-13, not PG, a PG-13 movie up until the bank scene. And then the bank scene, they were like, oh, look, nope, there's a ton of gore.
Yeah, I was not expecting that because they really hadn't had any gore up until then. And there've been several people who've been killed at this point. Yeah. At that point in the movie, the bank robbery. Yeah, so they go in there, park the van like right in front of the door.
Yeah, to block it. Yep.
To block the door, which is kind of funny. Instead of parking it out on the street, just like, yeah, we'll just pull right up to the door. That seems way more convenient. The tape recorder thing. So they had a tape recorder that they recorded, like an old school, like 80s tape recorder, that he's playing messages for the bank employees, which I thought was great. And they thought of everything.
Yeah.
Like when they asked the bank manager is to go get everybody and make sure that everybody's out in the front, and then he's like, everybody's here, and then like the recording was like,
are you satisfied with that answer?
Are you satisfied with that answer? It's like, I was like, it's a great, like, it's like a well thought through plan,
right?
Because either way, it's like yes or no, somebody might die.
Yeah, but then, yeah, so the lady who had the kid,
Jennifer Carpenter.
Sure, whatever. Again, I still don't know who she is.
She's the actress.
Okay, great. Anyway, I don't care.
Anyway.
Yeah, she's supposed to be...
I like the bank manager. What did you think about the bank manager? I wanted to interrupt you before you talked about that.
Bank manager was fine.
What would you do if you had a boss like that?
I'd probably like, bro, you're creepy. Stop.
Right? Like at some point, it's like, okay, this guy is like super invested in his employees. He's very articulate, but is he also a creep? I can't tell.
Yeah. He was a little over the top.
Yeah, and maybe, I mean, but it was enjoyable over the top. It wasn't like I wasn't like, okay, this is stupid. It needs to stop. It was entertainingly over the top, which was really well done. It because who was that? Fred. I don't know how to say his last name, but like that was a good performance because you could easily have screwed up that character and made it just unbearable to watch.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Yeah, the lady who had the kid worked at the bank, gets there, has the whole conversation with her bank manager and everybody else about how excited they are that she's back.
Yeah.
And then robbery starts, and she's supposed to tie everybody up, basically.
Yeah.
And one guy,
the stupid other
was stupid.
guy was trying to send a help email. Like, who are you emailing help to? Nobody's gonna get an email and call 911.
Right.
And she tries to stop him from hitting send.
She tries to stop him, and they shoot her.
Yeah.
Like, blast both of her hands off, and she's got like 2 fingers left.
Her fingers are like gone, and then she pulls the little booty out of her thing and is like, "Can you give this back to my son?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What the heck? That's weird." Then he blasts her head.
Yeah.
And her head was gone.
Yep.
And they showed it, sort of.
Sort of.
They didn't show like the blood, gore, brains part, but they showed her head like
exploding,
disappear and exploding, which was creepy and not expected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're definitely going for that rated R.
Yeah, I mean they had it, but that was like definitely got it now.
Yeah.
So that was her whole thing was just to build an emotional thing.
So you care about this character and
really hate that guy now, which
I
don't know. You didn't need that, but it was a good element. I think that it was an extra thing that a lot of movies will leave out because it's not needed. But I think putting that in there just adds a little extra layer to it, which is nice.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so like, I don't know. They're outside, they're cops. They know what's happening, but they don't do anything to intervene.
Like they knew there was a robbery going on. They didn't know anybody was dying in there.
Right. They didn't know anybody was dying, but they knew there was an active robbery going on.
Yeah.
So in that part, they're sort of complicit.
Okay.
And then, and I think they killed more people later, right? Because I think they said there were 3 dead people and 1 missing. Because they were listening to the radio or something.
Yeah.
And I think they said there were 3 dead and 1 missing.
Yeah, there were like 3 dead, like 6 in critical condition.
Yeah, and
1 missing.
Yeah, so like they had to have. When they shot her, they probably shot the guy who was trying to send the message too.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It didn't look like they shot anybody else. So while you're outside with Mel Gibson and Vince Vaughn, they're shooting other people.
Yep.
Just to get the gold. But you don't ever see that, which is interesting.
Okay.
I don't know. Yeah, so Vince Vaughn is kind of pissed off about that. But he's still like Mel Gibson's like, we literally can't do anything. If we call the cops, they'll be gone.
They're just gonna be gone. Right.
Yeah. So we haven't done anything illegal yet.
Yeah.
So us calling the cops isn't going to help anybody. Then they follow them for hours.
Yeah.
And Henry knows they're following the whole time.
Yep.
I don't know who the bad guy. I don't know who that guy was. That was the main murderer
Okay.
on the character list. I just don't remember. But anyway, like
last name was Vogelman.
Vogelman.
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. This guy, Thomas Kreitzman.
That's what it says.
So he starts talking to Henry and Biscuit, and you're like, okay, they're gonna kill them now. But Henry is letting Mel and Vince follow them because they got to try to find a way to get out of being murdered now.
Right.
Because the guy clearly does not care who he kills. So then what? Okay, then they get to wherever they're going. To their getaway car.
To their getaway vehicle. Yep.
Which is somewhere in the middle of nowhere. How did... Oh, he was going to go open the door, and then they shot the other guy?
So, like, he went to open it, took both the locks off, and then the other guy, like, hit the person in the front seat, pointing a rifle at him, and jumped out of the car and got shot, like, 4 times.
Oh, yeah, that's what happened. Yeah. Basically got out, got shot, and then Henry ran off into the woods with the keys.
Mm-hmm.
And then Michael Jai White's trying to, like, swallow the key. And then he gets shot again and throws up.
And throws it up. And he's like, gotta do it again. Yeah.
It's like, that sucks, dude.
Yep.
And then he tries to drag him away, and there's, like, all this gore that's left there. And he's like, nope, you can stop. I'm pretty sure I'm going to die.
Yeah.
Got shot a lot.
Yeah, then you get the shootout between Mel Gibson, Vince Vaughn, and a standoff, and then another shootout.
Yeah. Everything was going okay, I guess. Up until the stupid hostage.
Yeah.
Ruined everything.
Well, they threatened her family. Like, they had her address and said, hey, if you don't do this, we're going to kill people you care about. So, I mean, it's a dumb decision on her part.
Yeah, I mean...
Guess she got a bullet in the head.
Who...
But
yeah,
she also
I don't know. If I'm away from the guy who's threatening me, I think I'm not going to do anything they said to do.
Yeah.
Especially when the people who are shooting at us are like, hey, come here, lady. We can help you.
Yeah, we'll help you.
Right. Yeah. And then, like, I thought, like, so she shoots Vince Vaughn. She shoots him in the face at first. But he's got
she was calling over there. I was like, don't let her get to you.
Yeah.
Stop it. She's going to try to kill one of you.
I was like, she's going to have a grenade or something.
Yeah.
And, yeah. I wasn't expecting what happened.
Yeah.
But I was expecting something.
Yeah,
so she shot him in the face, and the mask saved him. But he turned, and then she shot him in the side. And I was like, no, not Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
He was the one who was... I was like, oh, dang it, he didn't get out in time. I'm in it until I'm not. Are you still in it?
Yeah.
I don't think you are anymore.
Yeah, so, I mean, the whole action scene there was good.
Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
And then Henry takes a video of him shooting that lady in the head. Like, what is it with people and having to video everything? I need evidence. Yeah, so they kill the bad guys who robbed the bank, and then Henry and Gibson like team up, which I kind of liked that they were like, all right, we don't hate each other. There's a lot of money here. We could kill each
Right.
other, or we can split the money. So
Right.
they're like, all right, let's split the money. But the whole time they're doing all that, it's like, who's gonna ruin this first?
Yeah, who's gonna
right?
betray someone first?
Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of sucked the way it ended because it's not a happy ending. It's not a happy movie, so shouldn't really be expecting a happy ending.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like happy ending.
Like I was pulling for Mel Gibson's character, Vince Vaughn's character.
Yeah.
Vince Vaughn's character dies in the shootout, and then Mel Gibson and that guy, they're gonna be home free. But Mel Gibson is like, hey, you've got the blackmail video, you gotta let me destroy it.
Yeah.
So I know that I can trust you. And he does that. He has this conversation with the guy, Henry, at gunpoint. Like, pulls out a gun.
And holds it to his neck.
Gets shot because of it.
Yeah.
Like, I get what he was saying.
At first, I thought they both shot each other.
Yeah.
But Mel Gibson missed. But he only got shot here. So I feel like he could have survived from that wound. I've seen that kind of wound survive before in movies. So
okay.
I feel like he probably could have survived from that. But what did you... Okay, so going back to Vince Vaughn's death. So he had semi-proposed to his girlfriend via voice message. And she calls back and leaves a message. And then he gives him the phone and lets him hear the message, and he's like, what'd she say? And he's like, not what I wanted to hear.
Yeah.
And then he dies, and you're like, okay, maybe now I don't feel so bad for him. Because if she would have wanted to marry him, then that really, really sucks.
Right.
I mean, he's dead, which sucks, but like, yeah. Sucks to get dumped.
Yeah.
And then die.
Yep.
But at least he didn't have to deal with the pain of the breakup.
Yep. But just about 15 seconds.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah.
I did like Henry though, because he always he was talking to Biscuit, and he was like, "Yeah, I'll take care of your mom.
Yeah.
She'll never need anything." And then he told Mel
Gibson's character he'll take care of his family too. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, they were going to split it 60-40. And he's like, give her my 40%. And he was like, no.
No, but I'll still make sure they're taken care of.
I'll make sure she's taken care of. She'll never need anything. And I was like, that's okay, but you could have given him the 40%, because that would have been millions and millions of dollars. That was a lot of gold.
Yeah.
The ending was good, I guess. Obviously, you would have wanted him to survive and take care of his family.
Right.
But also, hey, how about you don't rob banks? Or, like, don't try to pick an easier target next time? I feel like there's a lot. I mean, they could have, the drug dealer at the beginning, they could have robbed him easy.
Right.
And not gotten killed for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, I mean, this was the movie, so.
Yeah. It was good. I really enjoyed it.
Is that your final overall thoughts?
Huh?
Is that your final overall thoughts?
Well, it was a good story. I think it was a well-told story.
Okay.
Nobody in the movie is good. Everybody's kind of a bad guy. The only good guy you could really say was a good guy was Vince Vaughn.
Yeah.
Because he didn't
Okay.
plan it. He was just along for the ride, and he protested a bunch. Well, some. And it seemed like he was kind of there also to make sure that he was to protect his friend
Yeah.
and partner. So yeah. And Henry, we don't know anything about Biscuit, but Henry, he was doing the job to help his family after he got out of prison. So is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, overall, I don't know if I enjoyed it.
Right, you don't know if you
I'm not
enjoyed it.
upset that I watched it.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
It's a good movie, good acting. The storyline was good. Yeah, so it was good.
Yeah. It's not a movie you're like, oh, let's have some fun.
Right.
Yeah. Oh. All right. Well, I think that about sums it up. I can't believe I never knew about this movie. Did you?
I didn't either. No.
Yeah, I don't
Not
know.
until you said something about it.
I don't know how. Maybe it wasn't released in theaters. I don't know. Seems like a theater release movie.
Yeah, but this is made by the same studio, the same people who. Yeah, they don't release like theater movies, like Bone Tomahawk.
They don't?
Yeah, like Bone Tomahawk. What's another movie? I just read it a few minutes ago.
The director and the writer.
Yeah,
Bone Tomahawk.
Rollins, Cell Block 99.
Yeah.
So these usually go
Master
to streaming services.
Yeah, that makes sense.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, that pretty much covers all of it.
Any thoughts for next movie review?
No.
We'll think some. Oh wait, I think John Wick comes out this weekend, and there's also what's that movie with the guy in the red suit? Shazam.
Okay.
We could also do Shazam. We will decide later. Yeah.
Yes, we will decide later.
Okay.
All right.
Outro.
So, thanks for watching, guys. If you've made it this far, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. And we will talk to you later.